Max Toinby. I was born on the 4th of June 1985 in the city of Coventry in the West Midlands.
Okay. How did you get into DJing?
Well, I first started DJing. I got my first pair of decks when I was in year 9 at school, and I was the first person in my year to get a pair of record decks. And shortly after that, the same year, my sister's then partner's friend was having like a party in their house, and I was only like 13 or 14 at the time, and I remember getting a taxi around there, and that was my first ever proper DJing gig. And I remember it was the first time I'd ever got drunk really, and one of the first times I think. And I got paid 30 quid, which at the time seemed like a nice little amount of money. So that was like my first foray into the world of DJing. And then I sort of DJed with friends in house parties and stuff, and then built a little sound system because I got quite into reggae music and the whole idea of building sound systems and that sort of thing. So I built a couple of little boxes and got an amplifier before I went to university. And then when I was there, I DJed with. I got sort of more and more into reggae music and sort of playing my sound system at house parties and stuff. And used to go down to some record shops in Moss Side and used to play. Started DJing at club nights. The club night called You Get Me, which some friends put on, and then me and 2 other friends who were reggae DJs started putting on a club night in Manchester called Hot Milk, which was quite successful and still going on now. And from that we started playing university radio stations, and then we got some people from the local community to come and play on our radio station, and they invited us down to their radio station. So we ended up having like a regular weekly show on a pirate in Manchester, which was really good just around the time that I was leaving. And since I left Manchester, I've moved to London, and I've started DJing down here. Sometimes just with like local DJs, sometimes like I've got a night coming up with old veteran MC called Dominic, and we had Papa Face, who's quite a well-known DJ in London last month, as well as newer people like the Heatwave, and before that in Manchester at Hot Milk we've put on people like General Levy and Tip Irie and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess that's it.
How would you say the DJing scene is different now to how it was back in the day when you was growing up?
Well, one of the main differences is like the format, like the sort of formats that people use. Like I was saying, when I was in school, I was the first person to get decks, and the idea that people get CDJ decks, the only person that had those was like the guy who played like, you know, all the agadoo, all the like sort of birthday parties and weddings and that sort of thing. So you know, if you were really into your music, you got a pair of record decks. But that's all changed now because it's either about CDs or it's about this Serato where it's all an MP3 and you just use the decks to sort of mix it. So yeah, one of the biggest changes is people not collecting so much vinyl and people not releasing so much vinyl. But things are all like mixed up a lot more now as well. Before there was like clear genres, you were a garage DJ or a house DJ, and there still is that. But you know, there's so many more different subcultures that have sort of define themselves, and so many more people that will go to a night where they listen to all kinds of different music, bashment, you know, garage, bit of funky, whatever. So that's kind of changed it.